One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Good morning to all of you freaking legends. It is the first day of the year, man. Great to see everybody. Listen, man, we have a lot of shit that happened, believe it or not, just overnight, essentially. A lot of stuff that is coming out in the media. Aside from fireworks and parades and stuff like that, we're trying our best to not cover necessarily all the other fireworks, other than my own fireworks, because I had my own fireworks last night. So today we have the Rose Parade that's going to be happening sometime today. I actually don't know what time that's going to be at, but I do know it's happening. Mamdani was sworn in, and apparently he got sworn in hand on the Quran, not the Bible, right? So we'll see about that. We got National Guard's latest, as well as Switzerland Bar and Fire. There was a humongous explosion over there, and I really don't know what the cause of this quite was yet. I watched a little bit about it, but not an extensive amount. We have a lot of the information this morning on the lineup. So anyways, let's go ahead and tell you guys chronologically what we're looking at. Trump spoke yesterday at the Mar-a-Lago at the New Year's Eve party. He had like a 3-minute speech. It was very quick. So of course I'm going to show you guys that. Then we have Zohran Mamdani sworn in as new NYC mayor. And yes, I believe he does that on the Quran. Swears in with the Quran, not the Bible. Okay, so now we've got the Swiss ski resort fire. Brutal. 40 killed and 100 were hurt. I mean, that's a lot of people, dude. And then regards to Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine are both blaming each other for the New Year's strikes that happened. There were some strikes that happened on both sides, and they're both pointing the finger. Typical bullshit, right? And then we have affordable healthcare subsidies expire, and that is today as of 55 minutes ago. And then we have another breaking regards to the 100 injured people, dozens dead, 100 injured after ski resort fire in Switzerland. Then we have Trump demands answers on Minnesota fraud scandal as Walz called to testify. And yes, he is going to probably most likely have to go under oath for this. And then we got IRS delivers major tax win for workers in 2026. And this is just as of 32 minutes ago. So we've got a lot of craziness. We've got a mix of shit that's going on this morning. Before we get into it, man, let me go ahead and pull up my Instagram. I'm going to show you guys what we did yesterday or last night. We didn't do it actually at midnight. We probably actually shot these off around 8, something like that, 8, 9, something, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can see it real quick, and then we'll get right into the actual stories here. So this is my Instagram at BallValveTV, by the way. So let's go ahead and bring this up. Let's see here. We do it up. Roll Tide, baby. Nine balls. Finale. Beautiful. Yeah. Happy New Year. Yeah, that shit was a good time. That was a good time. All right, good to see everybody in the chat, man. Real quick before we do, let's go ahead and get our call to actions over with, and then we'll get right into the news segment. Make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. We've got 90 of you guys in here as of right this second. Make sure you double tap the screen on the vertical side as well as hit that subscribe button because it's free. But let's go ahead and get the money part over. Please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. Making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep these lights on as well as be on these airwaves. So thank you guys for becoming members and then staying members, man. As you guys saw there, this is my Instagram. Follow me right here at Ball Valve TV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, the campaign trail, all of it, man. Make sure you guys follow me over there. We also have a Discord server for all of you legends. Make sure you guys join up on that. We got all the links in the video description down below of every live video. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I'll read them out loud as they come in, just like a super chat. I've got my email up, so you guys will get the shout-out just as it's just as good. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in this this morning on the first of the year. We got Eat My Left Nut, by the way, which is Charles Darwin from Down Under. Great to see you in the chat, bro. We got America Uncensored as well as we got Frank, my man. Good morning. Steve Posey as well as Steve Easy. We got Tiffany in the building as well as Rabbit of Chaos. Great to see you guys in the chat, man. And yeah, I know. You know what's funny is I fell asleep, I think, exactly at midnight 20, midnight 25 or something like that. As soon as it hit midnight, I was like, okay, I'm going to bed. I got a show in the morning to do. We got Bob from Biker News Canada up there in Canada. Great to see you, bro. Good morning. And we're scrolling our way down, making sure we're all caught up. It looks like we're pretty caught up. All right, let's go ahead and get into the first story here. President Trump speaks at Mar-a-Lago, New Year's Eve party. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it briefly here. It's a quick, very, very quick speech. Let's see. Can't hear him yet.
Really exciting to see, so I think we're going to do well. You saw 4.3, they were predicting 1.9, 4.3. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. We gave the military, the entire military, $1,776. $1,776, that's not bad. They're extremely happy that we're...
And by the way, what's up, Jimmy Mack, as well as Miss Lotus? Good morning to you guys.
Doing great as a country. We're back. We're strong. I didn't think it could happen this fast. It's happening a lot faster than anybody would have thought possible. We have a lot of leaders here, great leaders like Tom Emmer. I watch him on television. He was talking about Somalia today. Where's Tom? He was talking about the Somalian population, and not very nicely. He was not nice. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. Where's Tom? He's great. What a great leader he is. We need you.
This is terrible audio, by the way.
We need you in Minnesota. It's actually in Washington. Big, powerful congressman, but you did a great job today, Tom. Thank you very much. We all appreciate it. We want to take back our country. Can you imagine? They stole $18 billion. That's just what we're learning about. That's peanuts. And California's worse, Illinois is worse, and sadly, New York is worse. A lot of other places. So we're going to get to the bottom of all of it. It was a giant scam. Other than that, we're going to have a great new year. Actually, I view that as a reason for a good year because we're going to get to the bottom, but we're going to get that money back. It's all coming back. So I want to just do something very special. This is very different. There's a young lady named Vanessa, who's one of the greatest artists anywhere in the world. To me, she's one of the greatest. In fact, she did something last night that was incredible. She can paint slowly a beautiful portrait for the White House, or she can paint the most incredible painting in literally 10 minutes. And she's a speed painter, and she's a great painter. But I think she's...
Man, I really don't care about none of that shit, man. I'm just going to be honest. Sorry.
Maybe auction it off afterwards.
Okay, so he's still going to talk about it.
Anywhere in the world. Vanessa, would you please come up? Thank you.
Okay, so he's just going off about some painting. We're moving on, bro. Whatever. We got Zoran Mamdani sworn in as new NYC mayor, and I guess he put his hand on the Quran and not the Bible. Let's go ahead and figure this out together here. 5. Okay, fuck, that's too loud.
4.
3, 2, 1. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to all of you. And I can't think of a better way to usher in 2026 than to be amongst family and friends and to inaugurate the man who will bring about a new era of progress, promise, and prosperity.
Oh my goodness.
Stop the cap.
Speed this up a little bit.
For New York City. Zoran, I am so proud of what you have accomplished, and I'm filled with joy about what we will accomplish for our beloved city over the coming years. And so with that, let us begin. Please repeat after me and raise your right hand.
What's up, neighbor guy?
I,
Good morning.
I,
Zoran Kwame Mamdani,
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and the Charter of the City of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of
the
Mayor of the City of New York,
the Mayor of the City of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Bruh.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We're happy to be here. Okay,
It's such a pleasure to have you.
please sign the order.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And may I now ask for your $9 fine?
You may ask for my $9.
$9.
There we go. This should be exact change.
Oh my God.
Excellent, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. And the last thing, would you please sign the book?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you, Mr. Najmi.
Thank you, Mayor.
God, all these guys are gay.
Why are you gay?
Okay, so you're going to sign the first line here. You're gonna put the
What's up,
date,
Mr. Mister? Good morning.
your signature.
Happy New Year.
Print or sign?
Oh, could you do both?
Okay.
That's right, Dwayne. I got you.
Stupid.
Great to see you in the chat. We got Jason as well. Good morning. Great to see you as well. She
City
is
Hall? City Hall? Okay.
brutal. Yeah, $9 bribe. That's hilarious.
Is that for you?
You leave that for me. Okay, it is now official.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Charles, that's funny.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
Bruh.
Thank you so
What's up,
much
Dirty?
for everyone for being here. Happy New Year to New Yorkers, both inside this tunnel and above. And I cannot wait to see everyone tomorrow as we begin our term. This is truly the honor and the privilege of a lifetime. And after just having taken my oath to become the
What's up, UK kid? Great to see you in the chat.
mayor of the city of New York, I do so also here in the old City Hall subway station, a testament to the importance of public transit, to the vitality, the health, and the legacy of our city. And I can think of no better moment to announce our new Department of Transportation Commissioner than this. So I would ask Mike Flynn if you would please join me. It is an honor to have Mike here alongside me as we
Why are
embark
you gay?
on an administration that will take seriously the responsibility and the
He put his hand on the Quran, not a Bible, Steve Posey.
opportunity we have to make this streetscape and the public transit of the city we call home the envy of the world. And it will require someone who's experienced, who is fluent in the landscape as it is, and who is ambitious and imaginative towards the landscape as it could be. And I can think of no better person than the man alongside me. And I'm so proud to have him joining our administration as the next head of our DOT. Please. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations.
What's up, Orland, by the way? Good morning.
It's especially meaningful to be here tonight in this incredible station. I can't help but think back to the childhood me who was endlessly fascinated by the city's subways, bridges, tunnels, and other infrastructure. But that's only one of the many reasons that I'm thrilled to be joining Mayor Mamdani and the team, who fundamentally understand the role that transportation plays in the day-to-day lives of New Yorkers. And I know firsthand that New York City DOT has some of the most passionate, talented, and committed public servants in the country, if not the world. And they're ready to think big and deliver big on our ambitious agenda. So I'm grateful, Mr. Mayor, for entrusting me with this critical role, which I consider the job of a lifetime. And I'm ready, I'm excited to hit the ground running and deliver real results for New Yorkers. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Congratulations.
This is all cope. Big cope. All right, we're going to move on, though. We got to move on. So, regards to this big Swiss ski resort fire, this is the original report that at least Live Now from Fox did. And we have many updates. I think we have 2 other updates other than this one on this. So 40 killed and 100 hurt. Supposedly there was some sort of explosion of some sort, but I guess they haven't really been able to figure that out yet. I'm not really sure, but a lot of people got hurt and killed on this. This is a big deal.
And we are following some breaking news this New Year's Day as we are learning from police 40 people were killed and 100 injured in a bar fire in Switzerland. Here's some of the video we're getting in here this morning. Reuters reporting that dozens of people were killed and 100 injured, most of them seriously injured, following a fire at a bar in a Swiss Alps resort town during a New Year's celebration. Police say several tens of people were killed at the bar, Lake Constellation. The fire broke out around 1:30 a.m. and the cause of the fire, which was initially reported as an explosion, remains unclear, but authorities said it appeared to be an accident rather than an attack.
Oh, wow. I mean, well, I don't know how they figure that shit out, dude. I mean, that's above my pay grade. I'm just asking.
As of now, it is too early to determine the cause of the fire. Experts
have
not yet been able to go inside the wreckage. Police also say work is underway to identify the victims and inform their families, but saying that will take time, and for the time being, it is premature to give you a more precise figure, adding that the community is devastated. Officials say the injured were so numerous that the intensive care...
Real quick, gotta say something real quick. We got Tolga in the building. Shout out to my man. And we got my boy War Gorilla in the chat as well. Great to see you guys. And also Sterling Wheel saying welcome to 2026, or 26 rather. I added 20 for you. Anyways, good to see you guys in the chat.
Unit and operating
Happy
theater
New
at
Year.
the regional hospital quickly hit full capacity. Helicopters and ambulances rushed to the scene to assist victims, including some from different countries. The Swiss president did put out a statement on social media that I wanted to put up on your screen right now. Let's read it in full. It says, "What was a moment of joy turned into a tragedy felt across the country and beyond. The Federal Council has taken note of this with deep dismay. Its thoughts are with the victims, the injured, and their families, and it extends its deepest condolences." Now, according to the Associated
What's up, Straight Jacket? Good morning and Happy New Year.
Press, a witness who spoke to French broadcaster BFM TV described people smashing windows to escape the blaze, some gravely injured, and panicked parents rushing to the scene in cars to see whether their children were trapped.
What's up, Freddie? And Happy New Year to you too, bro.
Inside. And once again, I do just want to put back up on your screen this footage that we do have there from the fire. The young man said he saw about 20 people scrambling to get out of the smoke and flames and likened what he saw to a horror movie as he watched from across the street. In a region that's very busy with tourists skiing on the...
You know, Tolga, I saw something briefly about that, like where I saw just a headline. I haven't reported it yet, but I will follow the story.
Slopes. The authorities have called on the local population to show caution in the coming days to avoid any accidents that could require medical resources that are already overwhelmed. The Swiss fire comes 25 years after another fire in a Dutch fishing town on New Year's Eve, which killed 14 people and injured more than 200 as they celebrated in a cafe. This is a developing story here, and we will continue to follow it here on Live Now from Fox.
Shit. All right, so we have an update of this situation, but first we're going to talk about Russia-Ukraine. There was New Year's strikes on both sides, okay? Both sides were firing at each other, and that's just the way it is. Now, they're both pointing the finger at each other, blaming each other for the strikes, but I don't know. You both participate, so I don't know what to say. We got Sterling Will coming in with the 420, by the way, saying 2026 will be epic no matter what happens by Gold Truth. Add silver to that list too, gold and silver. Yeah, you should do both. But yes, I very much agree with that. So let's go ahead and move into this next story in regards to Russia. Thank you again, Sterling, for making it rain with the 420, bro. Goes a long way. All right.
I do want to transition to some other news as we continue to follow the Russia-Ukraine war. Russian officials saying today a Ukrainian drone strike killed 24 people and wounded at least 50 more as they celebrated the New Year in a Russian-occupied village in Ukraine as tensions between the two nations.
Damn, how many people fucking got creamed on that?
A Ukrainian drone strike killed 24 people and...
Wow. A Ukrainian drone strike killed 24 people.
Wounded at least 50 more as they celebrated the new year in a Russian-occupied village in Ukraine, as tensions between the two nations continue to spike, despite diplomats hailing productive peace talks. The region's Moscow-installed leader said in a statement on Telegram that 3 drones struck a cafe and hotel on the Black Sea coast. Ukrainian officials did not immediately comment on the claim of the strike. However, we do have this post here from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. I did want to read a portion of it to you.
Real quick before she does, we got 487 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well as double tap the screen if you're on the vertical side. I very much appreciate you guys.
Russia deliberately brings war into the new year, launching more than 200 attack drones against Ukraine overnight. Most of them were successfully shot down, and I thank all our warriors who repelled.
What's up, Alwine? Good morning and happy New Year, bro.
This attack. He then goes on to say the targets were our energy infrastructure. Whenever necessary, rescuers are providing assistance and power engineers are restoring electricity after the strikes. I thank every person involved in responding to the aftermath. The killings must be stopped. There can be no pauses in protecting human life. If the strikes do not stop, even during the New Year holidays, then air defense deliveries cannot be delayed. Our allies have the necessary scarce equipment. We expect that everything agreed with the United States at the end of December for our protection will be delivered on time. I'm grateful to everyone for their readiness to stand with Ukraine and work for our collective. And then it does cut off there at the very end. But that is that post there that we did just get from Ukrainian President Zelensky as he was commenting on this morning. Now, the attack was also condemned by a number of Russian officials. The chair of Russia's upper house of parliament, the Federation Council, said that the strike strengthened Russia's resolve to quickly achieve its goals in its almost 4-year invasion of Ukraine. The statement follows claims from Moscow that Ukraine launched a long-range drone attack against one of Russian President Vladimir Putin's official residences in northwestern Russia on Tuesday. Kyiv has denounced the claims as a lie. Russia's Ministry of Defense saying today that its specialists had access to the navigation system in one of the drones.
You know, real quick, I want to go ahead and acknowledge this. Steve Easy comes in and says, no more funding for anyone. Fuck the world. I absolutely agree. Fuck everybody, except for Americans. Oh, obviously, you know, our money should be benefiting Americans at this point. Fuck funding anybody else. We're not in the position to do it. Maybe at one time we were in the position to do it. Not anymore.
It claimed was used in the attack and used its data to confirm that Putin's residence was the drone's final destination. The claim could not be verified as the ministry did not share evidence on the findings, but officials said that it would transfer the data to U.S. officials through established channels. So once again, some more breaking news here. Russia launching a drone attack on Ukraine. We are going to continue to follow that story for you here as well on Live Now from Fox.
Shit. All right, we're going to move on into the affordable healthcare subsidies expired today. And this just came out right before we started the show. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. It's a very quick update. So
you're watching Live Now from Fox. Welcome back. Giving you this live look this morning at Capitol Hill enhanced tax credits that have helped reduce the cost of health insurance for the vast majority of Affordable Care Act enrollees expired overnight, cementing higher health costs for millions of Americans at the start of the new year. Joining us now is Fox News' Rebecca Castor. Good morning, Rebecca. What can you share with our viewers about all of this?
Well, Christy, these now expired subsidies are the reason Democrats shut down the government in October, but lawmakers still left Washington without a clear plan to prevent healthcare costs from spiking. Before the holiday recess, lawmakers were in the thick of negotiations. Democrats wanted to extend the subsidies to keep costs down.
By the way, good morning, Pablo, and Happy New Year, man.
But most Republicans believe the program is filled with fraud and wanted changes. The House passed a GOP healthcare plan that does take steps to lower costs for Obamacare enrollees, but it doesn't extend the subsidies, and without Democrat support, it won't get through the Senate.
We have been laser focused on trying to get this done. Unfortunately, it takes the Democrats to work with us, and they're not interested in it. They're interested in just simply putting a Band-Aid on a failing system. Obamacare, which is called, affordable health care, is unaffordable. We know this, and President Trump is laser focused on trying to get it fixed.
Now, the president wants federal aid to go directly to patients instead of insurance companies, and Republicans tried to do this with a bill in the Senate that would expand health savings accounts. But again, without Democrats on board, it failed to pass. Now, there will be another vote.
What's up? We got Big Biz Quick up in the building. Shout out to you. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far, and Happy New Year.
Sometime this month on renewing the Obamacare subsidies. But Christy, with millions of Americans now paying more for coverage, Republicans will be in a tough spot if they can't pass their own health care plan.
Rebecca, before I let you go, can you explain for our viewers why House lawmakers will be taking another vote on renewing the Obamacare subsidies, even though it didn't have enough support in the House or Senate before Christmas?
Right. Yeah, this is because right before the holiday recess, 4 House Republicans joined Democrats in signing on to what's called a discharge petition. Now, this is a way for lawmakers to go around congressional leadership and force a vote on legislation. It doesn't mean that Democrats now have enough support to actually renew the ACA subsidies, but many of these lawmakers spent Christmas break back in their districts hearing from constituents who are about to pay significantly more for health care. So once lawmakers are back here in Washington, we'll find out if it was enough for Republicans to change course here, Christy.
Interesting. And of course, that's what I'm going to be doing here, is going to be following all these stories. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because this is what we do Monday through Friday. All right, let's go ahead and get into another update regards to the dozens dead, which is 40 minimum, and 100 injured after ski resort fire in Switzerland. So let's go ahead and bring this up. We'll talk about it briefly here.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. Welcome to Fox and Friends, and we begin with a Fox News alert.
Yeah, it's tragic. Dozens are dead and about 100 more hurt after a terrible fire tore through a bar during a New Year's Eve party in Switzerland.
Shanley Painter joins us now with the details. Good morning, Shanley.
Hey, good morning. So it happened at a bar in Kranz, Montana, a luxury ski resort town some 2 hours from the Swiss capital of Bern. Police say an explosive fire ripped through a bar called Le
What's up, Bambi? Good morning and Happy New Year.
Constellation during a New Year celebration. Several dozens of people are presumed to have been killed. One local outlet reporting up to 40 people are dead. Police say around 100 people are also injured, some very seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot hide it from you. We are shaken by what happened last night. On behalf of the command of the police, I extend my deepest sympathy to the victims and the families affected by this tragedy.
Now, the cause of the reported explosion and subsequent fire is unknown at this time. Swiss authorities say this was not a terror attack.
So how do you know that if it's on? You don't know how the fire started, but you're already claiming that it wasn't an attack? I mean, why would you take it off the table right away like that?
Also learning local hospitals, intensive care unit, one of them is...
By the way, we got my favorite number in here. We've got 777 people, 777. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, as well as hit the like button on the horizontal side. You don't have to like all the craziness happening in the world, but you can like it for me and what we do here. Thank you, guys.
So victims are actually having to be transferred to other area hospitals. And this is an area that is heavily visited by tourists from all over the world. Officials say that several nationalities are among the victims in this tragedy that is continuing to develop. And we're continuing to learn more, guys, as well.
Yeah, Chanley, you know, that last point there you raised about the international tourists, for our viewers to understand, this is one of the most internationally renowned ski resorts. They routinely have some of the Olympic competitions to qualify there. So it's likely that this location, this bar they were celebrating, would have been a top sort of Swiss Alps destination for tourists, not just the locals.
Exactly. In fact, they're asking locals to be very cautious because the emergency services there are so inundated with victims at this time. But you're correct. I mean, this is a world-renowned resort town. In fact, next month, they're holding the World Championship in alpine skiing. So, again, people from all over the world visiting, especially for...
We know this, but you're... Okay, so you're not going to give us any more information. Okay, sounds good. We squeezed as much information out of that as we probably were going to get. We're going to move on, though. Now... on that same little panel on Fox and Friends right there, they come out with something this morning saying Trump demands answers on Minnesota fraud scandal as Walz called to testify. And when he gets called to testify, obviously he's going to go under oath. So anyways, let's go ahead and bring this up. We will talk about it briefly. And before we get to it, always remember to embrace your fuck-ups, homies.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future. Quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck up. And fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And to be clear, President Trump was not in Washington, nor here in New York. He was down in Mar-a-Lago, vowing to get to the bottom of the Minnesota fraud scheme.
Real quick, what's up, Rebecca, up there in Canada? Great to see you and Happy New Year.
While celebrating the New Year last night.
And it comes as the state's governor, Tim Walz, is called to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah, always here with breaking news. Rebecca Castro joins us now from Washington, D.C., and she's got the latest. Rebecca.
Joey, good morning. Governor Walz has acknowledged fraud is a major issue in Minnesota and says he's accountable for fixing it, but it's not clear yet if he will agree to testify before Congress next month. Multiple federal agencies are currently investigating the fraud allegations involving child daycare centers in Minnesota, which prosecutors say may have cost taxpayers billions. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has frozen all federal child care payments to the state, but President Trump says Minnesota is just the beginning.
Can you imagine they stole $18 billion? That's just what we're...
Well, I mean, yeah, that's right. It's not just, in their state, Minnesota. I mean, shit, there's fraud in California. There's fraud in Ohio. There's fraud in Illinois. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, bro.
Learning about it. That's peanuts. In California is worse. Illinois is worse. And sadly, New York is worse. A lot of other places. So we're going to get to the bottom of all of it. It was a giant scam. Other than that, we're going to have a great new year.
We did hear him say that.
The House Oversight Committee will start holding hearings on this next week. And Chairman James Comer wants Governor Walz and his Attorney General to testify in February, saying they've either been asleep at the wheel or complicit in a massive fraud involving taxpayer dollars in Minnesota's social services programs. In response, the governor's office said, "We're always happy to work with Congress."
I appreciate that, Naomi. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Though this committee has a track record of holding circus hearings that have nothing to do with the issue at hand. While the governor has been working to ensure fraudsters go to prison, the president has been selling pardons to let them out. Now, the DOJ has been investigating this fraud for months, and Attorney General Pam Bondi says 98 people have been charged. And
that's right, downtown. I very much appreciate that. We have 829 people in here. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. I very much appreciate that.
More than 60 found guilty in court. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca. Unclear if Governor Walz intends to show up to this hearing.
Yeah, so funny they talk about you're racist, and some of the pundits, even politicians, have said, well, some of these people might be Somali. 90 some odd have been charged. I believe, Griff, the number is 80.
So 98 have been charged, 85.
Yeah, Scotty, it goes up and down nonstop. I mean, I just call it when I see it.
If are Somali.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. So not all. It's not all of them, but it definitely brings the broader concept of it's part of this community. And so to say that you can't talk about being Somali and part of this fraud, that's wholly untrue. Okay. We have to be honest about what's going on here.
Shit. What's up, Honk Wonk? Man, I have moved 3 different homes since then, Honk. Actually, theoretically 4. One was for a very short time. But nonetheless, yeah, I don't have that shit anymore. I'm not even in the same state. But great to see you in the chat.
And because
on the
of
Twitch
this,
side.
President Trump has done what he can, and he's getting more federal support down there. And he's also saying we need to be auditing not only all of these federal programs, who's getting the federal funding. And because of the increased oversight and the auditing, one of the daycare centers are saying, hey, we don't have the paperwork anymore. Take a listen.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual made this all happen.
So I want to say I don't understand why they have to turn it around and say, why are you targeting this Somali community? That's not what they're doing. They're targeting this Leering Center because of the massive fraud and abuse.
Luring Center. I love how she actually said that. That's funny as fuck.
Targeting this Leering Center because
Leering.
of the massive fraud and abuse that has been uncovered. And again, not just a part of some of these daycare centers, but much broader throughout the entire state.
Well, and to be clear, so that individual, and by the way, the plot thickens because the Minnesota police showed up, responded to the break-in, and found no evidence of actually these documents or other things being taken. We'll see where that goes. But this Nakoma State Care Center is different than the Leering Center. It's not the one seen in Nick Shirley's videos. It's a different one. But you're right. President Trump is sitting in the feds, and they're going through all of them. HHS has stopped the funding for daycare centers to the state from the federal level until they know for sure that these are actually legitimate centers that are operating as legitimate businesses. And so I think that young man is going to have to do some explaining.
So what's the what's the game here? You're saying that somebody broke in and stole all of the documentation that would be used to show that you're a fraud. I mean, I'm sorry. Color me skeptical. I don't believe it. I mean, you look at the pictures where they showed how people broke in, and the sheetrock looks like it was torn open from inside the building, not outside the building. The police have already said they think that nothing was stolen. I don't know how they come to that conclusion, but think about it. He said specifically, he took the time to point out the rosters of the kids that are there, checkbooks. You know, maybe when people start looking at where they're spending their money, well, you stole my checkbook, so now I can't show you. Somebody must have stolen it and spent that money on those $3,000 glasses I was wearing, which I saw on X. Well, somebody else bought those because they stole our checkbook. We're not wasting money. Color me skeptical. I think that if this is the reaction, they're in a bad spot.
They're in a bad spot. And by the way, yesterday, Nicole, Joe and I were on the couch, and we talked to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, and she addressed what so many Americans want, which is to see people held accountable. Listen.
Uh-oh.
This is a top priority for the administration.
Caroline Leavitt about to put the fucking hammer down. Shit.
The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years. The Department of Homeland Security is conducting door-to-door investigations on the ground at potential fraud sites. We're also not afraid to use denaturalization. That's a tool at the President and the Secretary of State's disposal, and it's one this administration has previously used before. What are they hiding? Our entire administration is working around the clock to get to the bottom of it.
Well, those are some strong words by the White House press secretary, but she's absolutely right. Listen, this is not about politics. This is not about race. This is about math, and it has already been uncovered, tens of millions of dollars. I've seen some estimates saying upwards of over $1 billion of potential fraud in this one state alone. Tim Walz, you must be very, very proud. I can't imagine how this is not going to affect his upcoming re-election campaign.
No, right. He's running for re-election. So you wonder, Nicole, what is his slogan? Trust me, I'll fix it now. He's gone and established, a program integrity director. He spent more of Minnesota's taxpayer dollars to have an outside auditing firm to come in and take a look at it. But how did it happen? And that number, by the way, the figure they're saying is upwards of $9 billion in the state of Minnesota alone.
Of a proposed $18 billion. So of $18 billion that was spent on Medicaid through these programs, which is federal and Minnesota money, upwards of half of it was fraudulent, stolen, not used at all for what it was there for. What's so funny about this this daycare that just came out and did their press releases, they're not on the video. They're supposedly not one of the ones that was being talked about this week. So I guess they're just trying to get out in front of it. Say, oh, well, before they come look at our books, let's go ahead and make sure they get stolen. That's what I think. I don't know if that's true or not, but it certainly looks that way. And where there's smoke, there's fire, and that looks like a lot of smoke.
Well, Tim Walz and pretty much every other politician in that state should be thanking these whistleblowers and these journalists for bringing light to this, because this is money from not only federal dollars, but also, as you're saying, the state-funded taxpayers as well. If you are the politicians who are clamoring for having more funding for these social programs, this is great news for you because you've uncovered all this fraud. It's just like DOJ. They did a great job. They uncovered fraud, waste, and abuse. That's what's happening here. You get rid of the fraud, you get rid of the waste, and therefore taxpayer dollars can actually go to help taxpayers.
And it does hurt Minnesotans.
Okay, so we don't need to hear the very last. What did that guy's going to say here? We're closing that part out. We're going to move on. IRS delivers major tax wins for workers in 2026. This just came out right before I hit go live. And I was like, well, we got to figure out what the fuck this means. So let's go ahead and bring this up. We'll go ahead and discuss it briefly. And this will be, I'll double check my sources, but we're getting close to the end of our lineup this morning.
The IRS is handing workers a bigger tax break for business expenses in 2026. We love that. People who use their cars for work will be able to deduct more money per mile on their taxes. And that's just one of the notable changes coming down the line. We're going to bring in the expert, Taylor Riggs, co-host of The Big.
So is this essentially what is happening in the from the Big Beautiful Bill, or what's the deal here?
Money show on Fox Business. Taylor, you were giving me a mini education here as we were getting ready for this, and we've got a couple things to point out. Obviously, we talked about the mileage rate going up. That's kind of more of a thing that happens anyway. But when we look at Big Beautiful Bill, we look at the tax reform that happened under there. One of the big ones is the standard deduction.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to break that down for us.
So I love this. So back in the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the standard deduction was doubled from 12 to 24,000.
Yeah.
The good news is, since the Big Beautiful Bill law has now sort of extended.
So it is from the Big Beautiful Bill.
That went from 70% of Americans to now 90% of Americans that use the standard deduction, which is good that now all of this is going back up. Married filing jointly now up to 32,000. So there are good incentives to just standardize your deduction. They eliminated a lot of the individual deductions to make it easier for Americans and easier for the IRS. So it's good that this is going up. Now, part of you would say, okay, but inflation's also gone up.
Exactly.
Wages have gone up. So yes, part of this is the IRS just keeping up with wages. But again, really good. I think take advantage of every deduction that you can. We all pay too much in taxes as it is. Keep what you can.
W fucking woman take right there. I can get behind that shit.
Yeah, those standard deductions work really good for people like myself that get a little bit too disorganized to itemize.
Yeah.
Those were marginal increments, but they did go up. Is that a year over year? Will we see them go up next year and the next year in the same way?
We hope. Again, because you track inflation and every year the IRS can look at what's changed. But I like that they're going up because, again, you think about, I mean, we were just talking about the Minnesota fraud thing. How much of our taxpayer money is not being wasted? Every American right now is trying to hold on to as much money as they can. So all of these business deductions, you mentioned the car deduction, for example, the gas mileage deduction, all of that, I encourage you to talk to your tax
What's up, brother SST? Good morning and happy new year to you, kind sir.
professional, or go on the easy website where you can do it to make sure that you're keeping as much of your own money as you can and it's not going to fraud, waste, and abuse.
So it's not just federal taxes. States have done some things to help folks out as well.
Okay, so I have some good news for you, including your Georgia.
There we go.
8 or 9 states, I believe, starting today are actually starting to cut your income taxes.
There we go.
I'm calling this the race to zero, right? I don't think I have much luck in that in New York City, but in your state of Georgia, right, you're going tax rates in some cases low as 0, maybe 4.25% to 4%, all the way down to 3%. So these are individual states recognizing, if I lower income taxes, will you come to my state and work here and build a business here?
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. Look at Texas, Tennessee, Florida, places that don't have income tax are doing so well right now. You know, we have the big, beautiful bill. It's all going into effect. President Trump says the economy's in a good place. The biggest thing is maybe jobs aren't there. What is your thought on the 2026 economy?
I think that I'm very...
Okay, that's okay. I don't give a fuck about no speculation. I don't care about that. We're going to move on. We got some, this is our last story for the morning, by the way. It's a little, not too lengthy. It's only like 6 minutes. But Smalley Run Daycare suffers break-in of vital docs. This comes out 12 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and bring this up and we'll go and discuss it. But first, we got OTR Goat coming in with the $10 saying, let's make families great again. Yes, sir. I thought you were going to say, let's make American families great again. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that all the way around. Thank you for that, OTR. That goes a long fucking way. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this last story here, and then we're going to find someone that we can raid you guys off to.
Minnesota Somali community leaders are now pleading with the health department to undo its plans to cut off child care funding. Garrett Tenney has the latest live from Chicago. Garrett?
Yeah, Mike, and police in Minneapolis are also investigating a break-in at a daycare center. Now, this particular daycare center was not featured in Nick Shirley's viral video, but it is one of the dozens flagged to state investigators earlier this year for receiving more than $1 million in federal funding, despite having multiple and repeated violations on record.
They literally were stashing cash in the fucking walls, bro. Oh my fucking God. No way.
Featured in Nick Shirley's viral video, but it is one of the dozens flagged to state investigators earlier this year for receiving more than $1 million in federal funding despite having multiple and repeated violations on record. The owners of Nokomis Daycare say surveillance cameras captured 2 men breaking into their business, claiming they cut through an outside cinder block wall, crawled through an interior wall, and busted their way in before getting into an office and stealing business records, including personal information of who attends the daycare. Here's that center's manager.
One video made by a specific individual made this all happen. Yesterday was our daycare. Tomorrow might be someone else's. We don't know. So this has to stop.
While the Minneapolis police are investigating this reported break-in, some are suggesting it could be a cover.
My man OTR Goat coming in with another $10 saying, let's make American families great again. That's right, with the United States flag. I like that. I'm going to cheers to that. Feels good to be a G. All right.
Of wrongdoing.
Thank you for that,
the HHS
OTR.
official who paused federal funding to Minnesota daycare this week. Alex Adams posted crazy coincidence that attendance records are missing 1 day after the HHS secretary requested them from the state of Minnesota. Minnesota Democrats, meanwhile, are continuing to defend their handling of the alleged fraud in the state and attacking the Trump administration for freezing more than $190 million in federal funding as it investigates what prosecutors say could be more than $9 billion of fraud in the state.
We're taking fraud seriously. We're working every day to improve our systems, hold those criminals accountable, and move our state forward. That's why it's incredibly frustrating to me that Donald Trump and Republicans want to use this as a political vehicle to cut funding entirely to our state.
Republicans are.
I appreciate that, OTR. My man, fuck, there's not many people that will donate before they even subscribe, so W to you, homie.
Minnesota Democrats are now trying to whitewash their mishandling of the growing scandal.
If you go back to the Biden administration, particularly along that border, and you heard Biden say, well, I'm doing everything I can do, but yet President Trump came into office and fixed it almost right away. It almost feels like that again. You have Governor Walz saying, well, I'm doing everything I can do at the moment, and yet President Trump and his team are flooding the zone with resources and probably are going to get to the bottom of it before the governor and the AG there in Minnesota do.
Yeah, Congress is now hoping to have a chance to question both Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and Governor Tim Walz at a hearing on Capitol Hill next month. Mike?
We will follow this story. Garrett Tenney, thanks very much. Molly?
All right, let's bring in Florida Congressman Mike Herodopoulos. He sits on the House Financial Services Committee. And, sir, welcome. Thank you so much for being here on this new year, 2026. We greatly appreciate it. Garrett Tenney just covered, Happy New Year to you. Garrett Tenney just covered an incredible amount of ground in that report. There was a break-in at one of the daycares where records have been requested by the federal government, federal investigators. The feds are moving in on this community, trying to get to the bottom of the fraud investigation that's underway. And local officials...
Shit, and then OTR coming in as a member, bro. Let's fucking go. Thank you very much, kind sir. And by the way, we do members-only content every single Saturday morning, 10 a.m. CST, 11 a.m. Eastern. So it's the same time frame I go live Monday through Friday, but on Saturday it's for members only, and we get down with our beds.
Are blaming the Trump administration for something that really they've been working on for many, many years now as Governor Walz is running for a third term. I just want to get your thoughts on how things stand right now and what you have to say about it.
Well, as a son of an FBI agent, this is nothing short of organized crime. This is what the mafia does. They steal, they lie, they cheat. And what's happened here is nothing short of that. And the federal government has to use the full powers that we used to destroy the mafia back in the 1960s. Nothing short of it. This undercuts the fabric of America. People work hard to pay their taxes, and they see the dollars thrown away in an organized crime method. And the way you get these people is with the same vengeance that the Biden administration took on with the January 6th incident at the Capitol. That's how you take them on. You start with the lowest level investigators and you say, you knew what was going on. Who told you to turn a blind eye? Nothing short of that will be acceptable to me or members
themselves
of Congress, because we know when Walz comes to testify, he's going to lie to our face just
of course
like he did on the Sanctuary City issue.
Yeah, and you're raising...
and he's going to do it under oath.
A very important point that the House Oversight Committee is announcing 2 hearings. They have invited Governor Walz to come and testify in Washington. We'll see if that actually comes to pass. That particular day is slated for early February. And James Comer, who has the Oversight Committee, had this to say about the effort that's underway. Congress has a duty to conduct rigorous oversight of this heist and enact stronger safeguards to prevent fraud in taxpayer-funded programs, as well as strong sanctions to hold offenders accountable. I think you said something a moment ago that probably touched on a lot of the concern among Americans, is that Americans all across the country are struggling to pay for pre-K, for daycare. I mean, that's generally a very high cost, and you don't want to see, our money thrown away when it could be going to those very programs that people need. Your thoughts?
Yeah, but it seems to never fucking actually reach the people that need it. That's the problem.
There's nothing short of it. I mean, again, we work so hard for our money, and to see these.
Holy fucking shit! OTR just gifted out 20 gifted memberships. Holy shit! My man, you definitely just not only helped me, but you helped 20 people in the Insane Wheels family, bro. I very much appreciate that. That goes a long fucking way right there. Very much appreciate
people
that.
On an organized crime spree to take the money and then to send it out of the country on top of that. I mean, this is what's going on in Minnesota, and the governor doesn't care. And his excuse, it's Trump's fault. Get real. Take your job seriously and get to the bottom of this, because we are. And I'm just tired of this. This is why a lot of us left the private sector to get back into politics, because there's a bunch of fraudsters and crooks, and clearly they've been exposed. And sadly, it wasn't the mainstream media that exposed this. It was a person who took it upon themselves, to their credit, and exposed this fraud so the rest of us see it firsthand. And now we know why that whilst they hated things like the Doge, because we're exposing fraud just like they did with USAID.
Yeah, I want to shift to healthcare quickly, because it's going to be a major topic, particularly in the initial months of 2026 as we are there. The Democrats created the Affordable Care Act, created the subsidies, created the expiration date for the subsidies.
So I start Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, every day except for Sunday.
Now they have expired.
For an hour.
But I suppose the question, though, is what can Republicans do now in these coming months?
Well, first, let's be clear. A couple weeks ago, we passed a bill in the House of Representatives that would have brought down Obamacare costs by 11%. And that's about my numbers. That's the CBO, the group the Republicans candidly don't like, called the Congressional Budget Office. Yet the Democrats back in July actually used the Byrd rule in the Senate to kill that 11% savings. And then more recently, we're hoping that they'll do it this time, now that we have a new bill in the Senate. They need to pass our bill so we not only reduce costs by 11%, but we also have major fraud provisions, because recently, even the Washington Post, again, a liberal group, said there is rampant fraud in Obamacare. That's why we just can't rubber stamp a broken system that has failed the American people since 2010. And the truth is, they lied to us there too. They said they would reduce costs. They said they would reduce the power of insurance companies. The exact opposite happened. We have a better plan. We're hoping the Senate will take up our bill that we passed a couple weeks ago in Washington, D.C.
Congressman Mike Herodopoulos, thank you very much. We greatly...
Well, brutal morning especially. And we're 100% caught up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough. Obviously, I can't do this shit without you guys, and I know that's cliche as fuck, but I really mean it. I'm very appreciative, and I hope that you guys see that I enjoy doing this as well. So, all right, until tomorrow morning for more of The World's Menace, God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon, and be safe out there. And Happy New Year to everybody. Stick around, because we're going to be raiding our buddy Black Dragon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, Insane Wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only so can be restored. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane Wheels, here is back to cry.